It's easy. It's easy for me to answer this one because, unfortunately, owing to the pandemic, I haven't had the opportunity to spend that much time with my host family over the past year and a half. But before the pandemic, in the fall of the first semester that I was here in Uppsala, my parents came to visit, and we were able to coordinate a dinner with my host family, and they hosted us in their apartment. So it was my host family, which is a couple, and my parents and me, and they made us a delicious dinner. We got to meet their dog, and it was just a very lovely experience, and the sort of thing that without the host families, it would have been, obviously I would have had a great time with my family in Sweden regardless, but you don't get uh, the same experience of eating, with a Swedish family and feeling like you're really part of the community as opposed to more of a visitor or a tourist.
So yes, those first few days were always super memorable. And then one of my absolute favorite memories with Mats is at the Rotary, there was a Rotary Oktoberfest that we were all invited to. And I guess this also ties into things that surprised me about Swedes, was I didn't realize how much Swedes love to sing. There's like a song for every event. For being as shy as you guys can be, there are moments where it doesn't come out. Like, I was like, oh my God, we're singing. And we were forced, they made the Americans sing a song, which was terrifying. We sang Take Me Out to the Ball Game because that was the only song we could think of that was like American, that represented American culture, that wasn't too like patriotic. And then Mats and I he kept giving me shots of, I don't know if it was Jaeger, I can't remember. There was some special alcohol. I think I took like 2 or 3 shots with Mats. It was him. So it was great to see him in that, just like very loose and just like everyone having a great time. That was like one of the last, one of our last big kind of events that we had before the pandemic. Like, even though that was in October, I'm like trying to think if we really had anything else.
If I have to pick up one episode, that will be the Christmas time. My host family, the family Fries, Mr. and Mrs. Fries, they took me to Skåne in the south part of Sweden where their relatives live. So that experience gave me not only the full experience of Swedish Christmas, and I learned how Swedish people spent the Christmas time together with their families and friends, but it also gave me the opportunity to interact, to meet Swedish people who are outside Rotary society. And so I could learn a variety of way of thinking, way of life, or different personalities, even among Swedish people. Sometimes, the people engaged in the Rotary, they share the same value or goals. So they may be a group of unique group of people that are different from other Swedish people. So it is a very precious experience for me to meet people outside the Rotary Society in a positive way. So I really appreciate that moment.
We definitely had a fun time at Midsummer. My Shell is an excellent beer brewer, so it's been really memorable tasting some of the beer that he has brewed. What else? So much. They recently adopted a dog named Celsius. He's a little tax, and I also adopted a dog last year. Her name is Layla, and she acts like a cat, but she's amazing. And so some of my best memories have also been just watching the dogs play and getting to know each other's pets and spending that time together. So lots of really good memories. Their garden is a lovely place. So that's been really nice.
So this was during the Christmas in 2019, before pandemic, and we had this lunch together, and we also watched this Disney run-on of this, the tradition at 3 o'clock on 24th. So we did that, and then we later that day we went to the cathedral, and this was my first experience attending a mass, that too in a Christmas day. And yeah, I mean, I was part of it. And I, my like Karin's son, and David, Karin, my host mom, so he has taken this one video, and we were sitting there, and we were singing the song, and Karin looks at me. It's such a motherly way, like it is captured in the video. It's so warm, and like, I can see how she cares about me. And I shared this video to my mom back home as well, and she also said, like, I can see her from the way she looks at you. She really care for you, and that will always be very sweet, memorable, moment for me.
Lavi and Larsa have been too kind. They're quite energetic, and they can push Amanda and I to do more than we thought we were going to do that day, which maybe is counterintuitive because we're supposed to be the younger people. I really enjoyed visiting their summer home in Stragnas. Am I pronouncing this correct? Waking up early and taking a bath in the water, and a very cold bath even in the early summer, and experiencing that culture of how things are different in the summer here. How people go to their summer homes if they have them, and touch the ground and have a different experience. So I really enjoyed that. It was one of my best memories here.
So I'm fairly good chef myself. I like to cook, and I also like to discuss the different cuisines from around the world. And I think that was the October of 2 years ago. 2 months after I arrived here, I told Yang I want to, share with them some of the cookings I brought from my hometown in China. So that was chicken wings with mushrooms and the different sauces. It sounds simple, but it's my specialty. I have my secret sauce. So I made that, and that was to put it in a simple way. Like everybody was so quiet over the meal because we were very busy to snatch the food. So that was how popular and welcoming it is. And we over the food we also shared the common likings of mushrooms, because it is also a very common and popular food here in Sweden. And in my cookings, I use a lot of mushroom as well, even though in different ways. So I think it's a very interesting connection based on food, but also differences of how we would use the same ingredients but in different ways. So there's a connection based on the differences.
One of the things I'll never forget is my birthday here, when I went over there to celebrate with them, and they just made me feel so welcome, and felt very much like I was at home. And also they have a son who is an opera singer, and when they all sang happy birthday to me, it was like the most fabulous happy birthday I could imagine. But yeah, just they just made me feel so welcome, and they've also made a lot of my friends feel very welcome by welcoming them into their home with meals and just spending really nice times together. So